My brothers and sisters, there are moments in life that shake us, moments that make us question everything we thought we understood. But sometimes a single realization, a single change in perspective, that can change your life forever. You see, life was never meant to be perfect. It was never meant to be a straight path with no hurdles. In fact, every hardship, every delay, every unanswered prayer was not a punishment, it was a lesson. A redirection, a reminder that you are not in control, but you are always in care, and the one who is in control, he never makes mistakes. How often do we worry about our careers, our families, our health, our future? And yet, how often do we forget that the one who created us already wrote our story, and his timing is always better than ours? The moment you start trusting that what's meant for you will find you, even if it takes time, you will stop competing, you will stop comparing, and you will stop rushing. You will start living. There is one thing you can do today, right now, that will begin to change everything. Turn to the one who created you, speak to him, not just when you need something, but because you want a connection. Because when you fix your connection with your Creator, everything else starts falling into place. Even if the world thinks your life is falling apart, your past does not define you. No matter how dark it was, how far you strayed, how broken you feel, remember, even the darkest night ends with dawn. Start again, ask for forgiveness, move forward with purpose. You are never too far gone for the mercy of the most merciful. And finally, do good, quietly, help someone in need, forgive someone who hurt you. Smile at someone who looks defeated. These small acts may not make the headlines, but they make a difference in your book of deeds, and they change your heart in ways you may never imagine. So if you're waiting for a sign, if you've been asking, when will it get better? This is it. It gets better when you turn back, when you let go of what you cannot control, when you begin to live with purpose, with peace, with patience. This simple shift, this single realization, can change your life forever. Life is full of challenges, trials, and unexpected turns. At times, we go through situations that leave us feeling broken, lost, or even abandoned. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that these hardships are punishments, that somehow we've failed or done something wrong to deserve the pain we are experiencing. But the truth is much deeper and much more comforting. Hardships are not punishments. They are often divine lessons wrapped in discomfort. When something is taken away from you, it's not always a loss. Sometimes it's a gain in disguise. When you lose a job, it might feel like the end of the world, but later you may realize it pushed you towards something better, something you never would have considered otherwise. When someone walks away from your life, it might feel like betrayal, but it could also be protection. Not every delay is a denial, and not every closed door is a rejection. Sometimes it's simply the Creator guiding you towards something better. We live in a world where we are constantly told that struggle is failure. If you're not succeeding by worldly standards, then you're doing something wrong. But what if the struggle is exactly what is building your character, your patience, your strength, and your connection with the one who created you? Think about the people you admire the most. They've all gone through trials. They've faced difficulties. What made them strong wasn't comfort. It was perseverance through hardship. When we start to see our tests as opportunities for growth rather than punishments for wrongdoing, we develop a more peaceful and resilient mindset. A person who believes that their suffering has meaning, that there's wisdom behind every pain, walks through life with a different kind of strength. Their heart still aches, their eyes still shed tears, but they don't crumble. They rise with dignity, knowing that they are being molded, not destroyed. Sometimes the pain is there to remove arrogance. Sometimes it's there to remind you to be humble, to call out sincerely to the one who created you. Sometimes it's there to bring you closer to your family, or to help you appreciate things you took for granted. At times, hardships serve to wake you up spiritually. They remind you that this world is temporary and that true peace doesn't come from wealth or status, but from inner contentment and connection with the divine. Think of a seed buried in the darkness of the soil. It is not being punished, it is being prepared. The pressure, the darkness, the weight, all of it is necessary for it to grow, to break through the earth, and to reach the light. In the same way, your trials are not signs of your downfall. They are signs that you are being nurtured for growth, that you are about to bloom into something stronger, wiser, and more connected to your purpose. So the next time life brings difficulty, pause before you despair. Reflect. Ask yourself, what lesson is hidden in this hardship? How is this shaping me? Because with every difficulty, there is ease. And in every struggle, there is a seed of transformation. In life, we often find ourselves waiting for success, for healing, for love, for peace. And during this waiting period, the most common question that comes to our minds is, why is it taking so long? This is where trust in divine timing becomes essential. Trusting in divine timing means letting go of the constant urge to control every outcome and learning to believe that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if it doesn't make sense to us in the moment. When a door doesn't open despite all your effort, when your plans fall apart no matter how carefully you made them, it is easy to feel frustrated. But what we often forget is that the delay isn't always denial. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it will never happen. Sometimes the very thing you are asking for is being kept away from you because you are not ready for it yet, or it is not ready for you. Divine wisdom sees what you cannot see and protects you from what you cannot understand right now. There are countless examples of people whose lives took unexpected turns that later turned out to be blessings in disguise. A missed flight that saved someone from danger, a job they didn't get, only to be offered something better later, a relationship that ended, only to lead them to someone who truly valued them. In those moments of delay, it's natural to feel pain. But once time passes, we begin to see the bigger picture, and we realize that everything happened for a reason. This is the beauty of trusting in the one who created time itself. He knows the past, present, and future. He knows what you're not saying. He sees the tears you cry in secret. He hears your silent prayers, and he never ignores them, but he answers them in the best way at the best time, not according to your limited understanding, but according to his perfect wisdom. When you trust in divine timing, you stop rushing, you stop comparing your journey to others, you stop feeling like you're falling behind, because you know that your story is different, your chapter is unique, and your path is tailored for you. There's no need to compete with someone else when you know that your blessings are not running out. What's written for you will come to you, even if the whole world tries to stop it. And what isn't written for you won't reach you, no matter how much you chase it. This kind of trust doesn't come overnight. It takes time, patience, and experience. It requires surrender, but once it enters your heart, it gives you a kind of peace that nothing in this world can match. It allows you to smile even when things don't go your way. It gives you the strength to keep going when things don't make sense. And it teaches you that life doesn't have to go according to your planet, has to go according to the plan that was written for you before you were even born. And that plan, even with all its twists and turns, is always better than anything you could have imagined for yourself. There is something deeply transformative about turning to the one who created you. In a world that is constantly pulling you in different directions towards stress, comparison, fear, and superficial success, connecting with your Creator brings you back to your true center. It's not just about rituals or routines, it's about establishing a real relationship with the one who knows you better than anyone else ever could. Many people wait until they are desperate before they start speaking to their Lord. When they've exhausted all options, when the world has let them down, when nothing seems to be working, then they remember. But imagine how different your life would be if you turned to Him not only in times of hardship, but in moments of ease too. If your connection with Him wasn't based only on asking for things, but on gratitude, love, and the need for guidance every day, that kind of relationship gives you strength. It brings a calmness that cannot be bought, a sense of peace that no human can provide. Because when your heart is attached to the Creator, it no longer becomes dependent on the creation. You don't fear losing people or things as much, because your sense of security comes from a higher place. You stop obsessing over outcomes because you trust the one in control. Reconnecting with your Creator doesn't require grand gestures. It begins with sincerity. It begins with a few minutes of honest conversation where you speak from the heart. There is no right way to begin, just begin, whether it's in prayer, reflection, or quiet moments of remembrance. Every small effort you make to reconnect spiritually adds light to your life. It changes the way you view your problems. It changes the way you handle loss. It even changes how you treat people because your heart becomes softer, more grounded, more compassionate. One of the most beautiful aspects of this connection is that you are never too far gone to return. No matter how distant you feel, no matter how many mistakes you've made, the door is always open. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to be willing. You just need to turn back, and you'll find mercy waiting for you, forgiveness embracing you, and love overwhelming you. When your heart is connected to your Creator, it shows. You become calmer in chaos. You become more forgiving because you understand that you too are forgiven. You become more grateful because you realize how many unseen blessings surround you. You stop chasing approval from people because you're focused on pleasing the one who never leaves your side. This connection is not about escaping the world. It's about finding meaning within it. It's about remembering that even in your darkest moments, you're not alone. You're being watched, heard, and cared for. Every tear, every whisper, every silent prayer, it's all known. And when you truly internalize that, life becomes less of a burden and more of a journey. A journey you no longer walk alone, because the one who created you is guiding every step. One of the most liberating truths a person can embrace is that their past does not define who they are. We all make mistakes. We all carry regrets. We all have moments in our lives we wish we could erase. But just because you've stumbled, fallen, or even stayed down for a while doesn't mean you're not worthy of standing up again and moving forward. Every saint had a past, and every sinner has a future. What matters most is not where you've been, but where you choose to go from here. People may judge you by your past. They may remind you of your worst moments or try to hold you back with the weight of your history. But the one who created you doesn't do that. He looks at your heart right now. He looks at your effort today. He doesn't define you by your lowest point. In fact, He is the one who promises that no matter how far you've gone, the moment you turn back to Him with sincerity, He is ready to forgive, to accept, and to raise you in rank. It's very easy to fall into despair. When you've lived a life you're not proud of, when you've hurt others or even hurt yourself, it can feel like there's no way out. The guilt can be overwhelming, but guilt is only useful if it leads to change. If it brings you closer to your Lord, if it pushes you toward repentance, reflection, and renewal, beyond that, guilt has no benefit. Carrying it endlessly only weighs you down and stops you from becoming who you're meant to be. The beauty of the human heart is that it can be cleansed, it can be renewed, it can be healed, but that process begins with believing that you are worthy of a second chance, that the door to mercy is still open, that no matter how dark your past, the light of forgiveness is always stronger. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the potential of who you can become when you decide to change, when you choose to grow, and when you turn your heart back to the one who never stopped watching over you. Some of the most beloved people to God are not those who never sinned, but those who sinned and then sincerely repented, those who stumbled but never gave up, those who kept coming back again and again, asking for forgiveness, striving to be better, even when they kept falling. That struggle is what makes you beloved. That persistence is what makes you special. So don't let your past chain you to sadness. Don't let people's opinions stop you from seeking a better path. Don't let guilt convince you that you're unworthy of mercy. Every day is a new page. Every morning is a fresh start. And every sincere prayer is a step closer to the peace your heart is searching for. What you've done before doesn't have to be what defines the rest of your life. Change the direction you're going, and you will change the outcome of your story. It's easy to think that only grand, public acts are what count in life. Big achievements, large donations, major changes that the world notices. But the reality is far different. The small acts you do quietly, consistently, and sincerely have the power to change your life and the lives of others in ways you may never even realize. A simple smile to someone who is struggling, a kind word to someone feeling forgotten, a hidden act of charity. These are not small in the eyes of the Creator. In fact, they might be the very deeds that earn you the greatest reward. Many times, people delay doing good because they think they can't do something big enough. They believe if they can't donate a large amount, then their small contribution won't matter. If they can't help in a major way, then their effort is meaningless. But that's not how goodness works. What matters is not the size of the act, but the sincerity behind it. A small act done with love, with humility, and without seeking recognition can weigh more than 1,000 public displays done for praise. Imagine giving someone a glass of water when they are thirsty. That small gesture could be remembered for a lifetime. Imagine forgiving someone who hurt you, not because they asked for it, but because you want peace in your heart. That forgiveness could change your emotional and spiritual state forever. Or think about simply checking in on someone who feels alone. You may not know it, but your message, your voice, your presence might be the only light in their darkness that day. These small acts also have a profound impact on your own soul. When you do good for others, you feel lighter. You feel more connected to your purpose. Your heart softens, your perspective shifts. Instead of focusing on your own problems all the time, you begin to see others with more compassion. You become more patient, more grateful, more mindful. The act of doing good becomes a form of healing for your own spirit. The amazing thing is, even if no one sees what you do, the one who matters sees everything. Nothing goes unnoticed. Nothing is wasted, whether it's a coin you give in secret, a tear you wipe from someone's face, or a kind word you share when no one else is kind. Each of these is written. Each of these is building your scale of good deeds. And perhaps, on the day when all things are made clear, it will be one of these small, hidden acts that tips your scale in your favor. You never know what someone is going through. The world is full of people carrying invisible burdens. And sometimes one small act of kindness can be the reason someone keeps going. It might be the reason they find hope again, and you, without knowing, became the answer to their silent prayer. So never underestimate the power of doing good, even if it seems small. It doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need to be praised. If it's sincere, if it's done with love, It can reach places your hands never could. It can echo in someone's heart forever. My dear brothers and sisters, life is a journey filled with challenges, lessons, and opportunities. What truly transforms our life is not what happens to us, but how we respond to it, with patience, with trust, and with sincere effort to become better each day. The hardships you face are not punishments, they are part of your growth. The delays you experience are not rejections, they are divine redirections. The connection you build with your Creator is the foundation of all peace and clarity. Your past, no matter how painful, does not define your future. And your small, sincere actions may carry more weight in the heavens than you will ever know. This moment, right now, can be the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter where you let go of what weighs you down and step into who you are meant to be. A chapter where your life changes forever, not because everything around you changes, but because everything within you starts to align with purpose, gratitude, and inner peace. Let today be the day you choose to rise, to reflect, and to reconnect. Thank you for taking the time to reflect with me today. I pray that these words have touched your heart and reminded you of your worth, your potential, and the mercy that is always within reach. May you walk forward with clarity, strength, and hope. And may the one who created you guide your steps, protect your heart, and bless your life in ways you never imagined. Until next time, stay strong, stay sincere, and never stop striving. Thank you, and peace be upon you all.